Hey everybody, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Coffee with Cramer and Colleen. I'm Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. I got my cup of Nespresso here. We've got a quick one. So again, quick coffee with Cramer. Colleen sends her best today. She's actually on her way to a listing appointment. As soon as I wrap up from here, I'm on my way to join up with her. We've got a great house. Hopefully we can be talking about it soon in the coming days ahead. It's located on the west side of town. Before we dive into the stats, I also wanted to talk about one other item. So last night, Governor Sisolak announced what they're calling the Phase 2 reopening of the state, which includes our wonderful city of Las Vegas. Details on the announcement can be found on the Nevada Health Response website, which is nvhealthresponse.nv.gov. Again, that is nvhealthresponse.nv.gov. And some of the items with regards to the reopening in Phase 2 include gyms. They're also talking about churches with certain capacity levels. Also some bar areas or bar taverns that are also not serving food. Looks like there's some regulations going in place there. So be sure if you're in that industry or such, go to the website, check it out. Also, too, a lot of the news stations are carrying more information as well. Also, too, to note, it looks like the casinos and hotels on the Strip may begin to see a reopening here in the early part of June. But the good news is it looks like Phase 2 will begin on May 29, which is coming up here in the next couple of days. So that's exciting news. Now, diving into the weekly stats, we've got some good news to report there as well. And let's dive into those numbers. So if we take a look at last week, we had 6,122 listings of single-family homes in the Las Vegas Valley. Now, this week, we are down 0.5% to 6,094. Of those, 5,971 are traditional listings, 58 are short sales, and 64 are foreclosures. So we're not adding quite as many houses as we were. In fact, we're continuing to see a slight dip. Now, under contract are still continuing to rise. So last week, we went from 2,856 homes to 30,080, so a 7.8% increase. Majority of that's under traditional sales with 2,912. We had 118 under contracts in short sales and 54 closures. So again, short sales and foreclosures are making up a very small percentage and looking like numbers that we would see under a traditionally normal market conditions. However, the under contracts are basically representing 50% of the total listings, and that is showing some signs and robustness in our Las Vegas Valley housing market. Other key stats we'll be tracking are the back on markets with 151 homes. Price decreases, actually from last week to this week, are down to $539. Median home price is still holding in at $310,000. We're kind of curious as to where May's going to fall out. If you've got a thought about that, love to hear what you think the May median home price is going to be in Las Vegas. Put it in the comments below. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So right now we're at 310. We'll see what happens here as we wrap up the month of May. Now, moving on to the next slide, we are covering what changes happened from last week to this week. So over the last 7 days, we added 641 homes to the market. However, at the same time, we put 739 into contract. So we put up, just almost 100 more homes into contract than we do new listings. So you can see that demand really starting to pick back up again. We'll also see how this kind of continues to turn out as we move into the Phase 2 of the reopening of the state. And so that's exciting news there. And again, we've got a couple more days. We've got about just under another week left here to the month of May. Can you believe it? June's almost going to be here. However, that being said, while we're maybe not at the normal May numbers of total volume and listings, it is great after everything we've went through the last couple months to see robust numbers in the under contract segment in relation to listings. Now, how that breaks down is one other item we want to kind of touch base on. So every group here showed increases, some different changes week over week in active and pending based on price point. So in the under 250,000 price point homes, we went from 742 listings down to 698. So we saw a healthy decrease of homes available for sale under 250. Now, while that went down, demand picked up. So we went from 468 last week to 521 this week. And that's kind of the overall telltale story of this. So as we move into the meat of the market, which is the 250 to 500,000, we had last week 3,637. This week we had a slight downtick to 3,635, almost not noticeable there with just 2 homes. However, pendings under contracts went up from 1972 to 2134. So a pretty healthy pickup in demand again in the under contracts in 250 to 500,000 price point. Now moving up the ladder here to the 500,000 to 750. We also had a downtrend in available homes. So we went from 899 last week to 874. Demand again also picked up healthy pickup from 296 to 358. And then homes 750 to a million, that sort of mid-luxury segment. We saw again the downtrend, again not by much, but still 320 homes last week to 312 this week. However, a healthy uptick in under contract pendings from 74 to 96. So again, that mid-luxury segment demand is picking up there. And lastly, this is the one group where we've actually added some inventory, and I think we've got a thought about that. So the over $1 million, the luxury segment, we actually went up in inventory from 486 to 500. However, our under contract pendings went from 70 to 78. So we did increase in the number of homes going into contract, but we also increased the number of inventory. Now, inventory I think was kind of sitting on the sidelines in the luxury segment a little bit because of COVID-19, and they were trying to figure out, okay, well, what do we do? Now that I think they're seeing, okay, the state's opening back up, interest rates are picking back up. The other thing too, I was just talking with some colleagues that are in the lending and financial services business. Jumbo loans are becoming available. Housing Wire just reported, new purchases, mortgages, again, are on the upswing. So that luxury segment, now that jumbo loans are starting to move back in, I think people are a little more excited about listing their property in the $1 million segment. And it shows because we had about a 10% uptick in pendings from, even though it's a small number, from 70 to 78. That's still a good increase. So that's this week's Las Vegas housing market update. So again, here at the Cramer Group at Urban Nest, we really work hard to provide you the information you need to make the right decisions on buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Because more now than ever, your real estate experience matters. So give us a call, or reach out to Colleen or I if you have any questions about the market, about your own home, or if you're looking to move into a new home or a resale. A lot of changes are taking place right now because a lot of people, for better or worse, over the last 8 weeks, kind of evaluated their living situations. And there's going to be a lot of changes taking place afterwards where, okay, what do we want in the house? What do we need in the house? And there's going to be some new things with regards to greater demands for office space, maybe more personal home amenities that you used to enjoy in a more community space. Let's call it like a gym or community pools, things like that, and being a little more individualistic with their housing choices. So we're getting a lot of discussions about those. And then too, like I said, it looks like with the returns of jumbos in various financial segments and markets and banks, along with great, we're still at historic low interest rates. Now is a great time if you need to make the move, make the move. Housing prices are still holding in there because supply and demand are remaining in check. So that's this week's report. Again, we appreciate you always tuning in to Coffee with Cramer and Colleen. Colleen's going to be back joining us here very soon. I'm going to be heading out here right now to go catch up with her on this new listing. So we wish everyone a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.